Hello everyone, my name is Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Path. We'll be continuing in the fifth case of the game, the Grand Turnabout. And, oh boy, we getting close now. I'm wondering, will this be the last episode or probably we have one more after this? Probably. But anyway, we're almost there. We got the bad guy cornered. And we definitely cleared up last time that there was a big misunderstanding at the root cause of all of his actions. So, yeah, but he doesn't seem too broken up about it. So, well, alright, 2 nights ago. It happened when I was riding the balloon to the rooftop. I saw the body double and you, Miss Courtney, on the roof. Talk about a surprise. Only the double noticed me. He told Miss Courtney to leave ahead of him, which was still weird, right? How could he... Did he recognize Simon? Like, he shouldn't have. He then pointed a gun at me and fired. Just out of nowhere? Maybe he was just so paranoid, he was like, okay, random guy in clown makeup, let me just shoot at him. Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you, Kay. Why did he want to shoot down the balloon? It's simple. The body double had intended to kill Miss Courtney. Whoa. Well, he is psycho, so possibly. Kill me? That's right. You talked to the double about John, didn't you? Well, it's not like the body double would have met with you otherwise. From his point of view, it was like showing him evidence that he was a fake. Oh, yeah. Because if they ever needed a DNA test, they would easily be able to be like, wait a minute, you are not the father. How is that possible? You mean he was afraid of Judge Courtney because she knew about John's past? Afraid? That's exactly right. That body double was a coward after all. I even remember how his hands were trembling when he fired the gun at my balloon. Are we all clear now? I was only there by chance, just a friendly witness who was passing by. Not so friendly if you had Kay kidnapped inside your frickin' balloon, you psycho. Alright, okay. Let's just see. He had her leave ahead of him. Didn't you say the body double had planned to kill her? Maybe he thought it would be bad if someone saw the scene of the murder. At the time, no one knew that the president was a fake, right? Once he got the info on John, he'd be able to kill both mother and son whenever he wanted. Thank goodness he's dead. Now you're both safe. You should be happy. You're welcome. He's not gonna say that, but yeah. Whatever emotions you have towards that man, please put them aside until it's all over. For now, please continue your story. As you wish. And so that cowardly body double must have panicked when an eyewitness suddenly appeared from the skies. He then pointed a gun at me and fired. The bullet struck the balloon's basket cleanly. I panicked and quickly tried to get away so he wouldn't shoot me down, but talk about a close call. You say you tried to get away right then? That's right. Oh, whoa. Let's just pretend he was pretending to be mild. That's right. Is there a problem? Is that wrong with his statement? Wait, if he tried to get away... But that's the same night that he had Kay with him, and we know Kay ended up there. So I guess that's the problem? How did Kay end up there still? And how did the body double end up down in the lot, right? You must have placed Kay on the rooftop, yeah. You couldn't have gotten away before then, correct? Yeah, that's right. I forgot. After the body double fired one shot, he entered the hatch to the 51st floor. I looked around for a bit and then landed on the roof, so you're admitting you had Kay. So you at least should go to jail for kidnapping. Please add that statement to your testimony. Sure, I don't mind. After the double fired one shot, he entered the hatch to the 51st floor. But we have no mention of him going in there, right? There was never any mention of him being in there. Where is that? Shoot, it's been a long time since we talked about that. Lada's? The president never... Yeah! Liar. Once again, you lied. Lied? The body double could not have entered the storeroom on the 51st floor 2 nights ago. Miss Hart's testimony proves it. What? Can you trust that sham journalist's testimony? Oh. What you say? Boy, I'm gonna go over there and pull that makeup right off your face. Rather than pull, I should say scratch that makeup. Yeah, get him. You can't insult my mentor like that. Don't mess with us Southern girls, we're gonna get you. 2 nights ago, that lady was staking out the 51st floor. Given that, just how did that body double leave the roof? Indeed, that is what we must now prove. If he did not use the elevator or the 51st floor to leave the roof, then only one route remains. Pretty obvious. How did the body double leave the roof without using the elevator or the 51st floor? The balloon. The body double flew on his broomstick. Oh, that'd be funny. He flew? Simon Keys, he rode your balloon. Hey, stop joking around. Why would I have needed to give the body double a lift? The elevator had a security camera, and the 51st floor was being watched by Miss Hart. Your balloon was the only way the body double could have left the roof. At the circus, we often perform dangerous stunts in order to surprise the audience. You think you've got me cornered? Sorry, but the show ends here. What? Hey you, Lada was it? I'd like to ask you something. Are you saying you stood watch on the 51st floor the entire time without any breaks? Well, reckon course, there ain't no mistakes in my testimony. Really now? But didn't the sound of Mr. Edgeworth's assistant falling into the storeroom cause you to faint? He knows everything. Yeah. I didn't mention it before, but after that I might have dozed off a little. To be more precise, I fainted? Well, something like that. As if something did happen. Miss Hart, I have determined the sound that made you faint. It was likely the sound of Kay falling onto the storeroom floor. What's your point? Nobody's perfect. Look at her, Mr. Edgeworth. That's the kind of person you're relying on. Kay fell into the storeroom after the body double had left the roof. In that case, I have a theory on how things happened. After that cowardly body double fired a shot at me, he went and hid in the shadows until Kay fell into the storeroom. What? What shadows?
So what if he was hiding?
Good grief, you guys still haven't noticed? I don't know whose voice was he doing Edgeworth's voice there? Probably, I don't know. What if the body double stayed hidden until Lotta had fainted? And then he went down to the 51st floor. That can't be. Huh. Precisely. The locked room mystery on the roof has been unlocked. I'm assuming that's what he's doing. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, he even said it in my voice. How dare he? But wait, there's more. I told the hidden body double about John Marsh. That's why he attacked John the next day during practice, but got himself killed instead. In other words, the one who murdered the body double was none other than John. John had no motive to kill the body double. He knew. He knew he was the real president's son. What? Huh, and how would he have known that? Because I told him so, in a letter. What did you say?
That is a lie.
Yep, it's all a lie.
Huh?
But then again, maybe not. Maybe I really did tell him. Right, John?
It's true that I caused Mozilla's head to fall. But I didn't know about my dad until today. I'm not lying.
Oh, really? I wonder about that. I found out about the head falling thanks to the bug. Now, if you were the one who caused it to fall, and the body double was crushed to death, that settles it. You're the culprit. You successfully carried out your revenge. Congratulations! All the pieces of the puzzle are now in place, as Mr. Edgeworth would say. The logic fits. Now then, any rebuttals? Oh, we got some rebuttals for you, alright. The murder of the double. Manipulating humans into fighting with each other. Sounds just like me, right? I did the same thing to Knightley and Blaze. At any rate, there's no way the body double could have gone for a ride in my balloon. The double was crushed by the monster's head, right? And who was it that caused the monster's head to fall? Do you understand now? Who the body double's real killer is? The truth that I provided them with gave them a big motive for murder. Get it? Those two tried to kill each other because of the truth you're so fond of. Impossible! Hey, you detectives over there standing there uselessly while this guy does all the work. Hurry up and arrest this murderer. What's wrong? Why aren't you moving? Damn! I thought so. Just admit it. In the end, aren't you all the same as Blaze and the body double? You ignore the prime suspect and come after me without any evidence. How easily it can be distorted to best suit your needs. This law you all believe in.
That is by no means true.
Huh. If you're not gonna arrest anyone, maybe I should have a talk with the policeman outside. If I tell them that John Marsh is the killer, they'll be forced to take action. Simon Keyes, your testimony isn't over yet. Really? I figured you'd try to stop me, Mr. Edgeworth. You don't have any evidence, do you? Which means there's no chance for you to win, right? But if you still plan to stop me, you should be prepared to take on this much risk. Oh, there it is. The big mamba.
What? That much?
It's only natural. After all, the fate of the true culprit, John Marsh, is at stake here. Hey, Miles. Why don't you take a nice deep breath?
Mr. Shields.
At times like this, you should take a breather and think back. Defense attorneys always remain calm in a pinch and smile in the face of danger.
Aw, his daddy would always say that.
The point of contention between your logic and his claims lies in the body double's escape route. How's about, for example, we think of it like this. What's important isn't whether or not the body double got on the balloon, but rather, if we were to assume he did, what circumstances would have allowed for that?
Turn my thinking around, Ace Attorney style.
Yeah, like our daddy.
Well, all I'm doing is a cheap imitation of your old man. Did it help?
Circumstances that would have allowed the body double to get on the balloon. That's right. The body double not only had a large build, but he also had a gun. And in spite of that, no traces of sleeping drugs were found in his system, which means it can't be.
Mr. Edgeworth, are you ready yet? Hope you haven't forgotten about this. Whips out something quite large. Bro, come on, that's not appropriate. There's a child right here.
This is bad. It must break his testimony somehow. If you whip that out in front of me again, I will break that as well.
Karate chop, psh, karate kick, psh, break it. The murder of the double. Okay. What are we looking at? Crushed to death.
Uh,
Look at the balloon again for the millionth time. Gunshot fired by the body double was recorded on the tape. This is where the bullet hit its mark. There's no way Simon can deny that now.
Mr. Edgeworth, you absolutely have to expose the truth. I even got kidnapped in order to steal this evidence.
Leaving aside whether or not I would call that stealing, of course, that was my intention all along. Absolutely won't allow him to escape. Okay. Oh. That's just impressing.
That's the only way the double could have gotten off the tower.
Well, let's suppose that was the case. Even if I had carried the body double down, what's the problem with that?
So you admit it. You did carry the body double.
Let's not make a fuss over absurd opinions, Mr. Edgeworth. That's just not like you. You think the body double held me at gunpoint and asked me to go on a sightseeing joyride? There's no way that could have happened. And you know that full well, don't you?
It's possible you negotiated with him by using the information about John as a bribe.
But he shot at me, remember? There's just no way we could negotiate. In that case, what if you used sleeping drugs and transported him while he was knocked out?
Using his voice. Then allow me to ask, have they detected any traces of sleeping drugs from his body? Ugh, it's no good. Can't find any openings. Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there something more interesting we should be talking about?
Actually, yes, I think it's this statement.
Allow me to propose a question. Was the double really crushed beneath the monster's head? For a genius prosecutor, you sure are quick to withdraw your previous statements.
Ooh, my throat. What's going on?
My voice, don't go, come back. Got a tickle. Almost like a hair or something? What? Oh no. I have a dog, so... Oh no. Kiki hair. Weren't you the one who deduced that he was crushed by the monster's head to begin with? Indeed. I certainly came to that conclusion once before. However, that was when we knew of nothing else that was capable of crushing him to death.
Ah.
Knew? Why the past tense? It's not like there's anything else now, you know.
You sure about that?
The body double was crushed to death by the monster's head. That is an unshakable fact. Is there nothing else? Some decisive evidence that connects this man to the crushed president. How unsightly, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you stop this useless struggle? Besides, don't you already know who the culprit is? Remember?
It's this one. Alright. I mean, it's pretty clear based on that last statement, the last testimony. The other thing we've got now, and the only way he could have even gotten him on the balloon without a struggle, without drugging him, was if he was already dead.
John was not the one who killed the body double. He was crushed by a monster. Quit clowning around. This isn't like you at all. Oh, I get it. Since John is supposed to understand the heart of a monster. The one who understands the heart of monsters is you. Not even I have monsters for friends, you know.
You actually do? You were friends with Knightley. You were friends with Dogan. And you yourself are a monster, so yeah.
Huh. Stop being so modest. Didn't you have one very important friend? A monster you control at will. Simon Keyes, you're the one who killed the body double.
Compared to everyone else who, like, he instigated murders and he kidnapped and stuff. But this was the first time I think that he actually got his hands dirty himself and did a murder. And he didn't plan it. He kind of had no choice in that moment because he was being shot at. And I think that's what's interesting. That's the one that's going to get him taken down, you know? The one thing he had to do in the spur of the moment. Ha!
That's... Line balloon. A monster made of cloth that expands when filled with hot air. It suits you quite well, wouldn't you agree? Oh, burn. Sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about. You've been fixated on your claim that you manipulated John and the body double. Probably because it's an impossible fantasy of yours. After all, even an animal tamer cannot tame the dead. The body double had already been murdered while he was on the roof. And the murder weapon was the balloon you were in. I see. Although it floats in the air, that balloon still weighs several hundred pounds. When the double threatened you on the rooftop, you immediately came up with a plan to defend yourself. And that plan was to crush him with your balloon. More accurately with the basket, right? Whether the body double wanted to get on, or that he was carrying a gun, none of that matters. Because what you carried in your balloon was the body double's corpse. Hold on a second, Mr. Edgeworth. You're saying the double was killed on the rooftop 2 nights ago? Well, that simply doesn't match up with the time of death. What did you say? That's not like you at all, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a good look at the autopsy report. The time of death was around 11 p.m. last night. Ugh.
Last night?
That's right. The very night that Muzilla's head fell. Well, Johnny boy, come on. How about telling us the truth? You killed your father, right? I know the feeling. You hated him, didn't you? Yeah, but he didn't know, and you were hating the wrong one, and you're a hot mess, so. Your father who left you all alone forever. Yep, see what I meant? Daddy issues the game.
You're wrong. I had no idea that guy was my dad.
Not this again. Didn't I personally tell you myself? Is my logic wrong? Mr. Edgeworth, allow me to thank you once again for chasing down Blaze and Patricia and bringing them both to ruin. My revenge was a success, all thanks to your logic. If only the time of death matched up, then my logic would fit. Perhaps he did something to throw off the time of death. And what's more, Dane Gustavia, was it? You even took down the culprit of the IS-7 incident. You mean your father? Dane Gustavia and the IS-7 incident. Interesting that you mentioned dear old Dad. Very, very interesting. That's it. Gustavia killed Dover and hid his body in a block of ice. Mr. Gustavia intended to freeze the body in order to throw off the time of death. Yeah, like father, like son. If the time of death had coincided with the tea party, Mr. Gustavia would have been suspected. Oh, I don't want to voice this man. No, that's correct. Whatever. God, just like your dad. It's a shame that I didn't get to witness his destruction.
How can you say that? Wasn't Mr. Gustavia your father, Simon?
I'm scared. I'm so scared. Miss Rowland keeps asking me about that day. Daddy, help me. Why would you come save me? Is it because I broke my promise with you and didn't eat your sweets? That means he did remember then. I couldn't care less. My father left me all alone. Even if we share the same blood, that man is not my father. I don't know. I know he said his memories were muddled, so... I hate to say it, but... like father, like son. You're the spitting image of him, Simon. The father you hated so much. Huh? What are you talking about? It must have been fate. And it's interesting how
Edgeworth, you know, his dad went toe to toe with Gustavia, wasn't able to put him down, take him down, not put him down. But then Edgeworth got to get that closure for him, right? And now he gets to take down the son as well. So it's pretty cool. By sheer coincidence, you just happen to use the exact same method your father did. To throw off the victim's time of death.
And we rescued him from the refrigerated warehouse near the harbor, pal.
A refrigerated warehouse? You're saying that I threw off the time of death? How would I have done that?
The answer lies in where you hid the body double's body. This was the place you used to hide the body. Wasn't it at the warehouse? Near the Coliseum? Yeah. Throwing off the time of death by freezing the body along with John's kidnapping. It seems that everything is coming together. The kidnapping? Why are we going back to that? I don't know a thing about it. You pretty much confessed to that earlier with Kay, you know. Don't forget, John was confined in a refrigerated warehouse. That's right. You kept the body double's corpse in that very same warehouse. It's funny how they just took the sprite and they're like, let's make it shaded blue, turquoise blue, to simulate that it's frozen. It's really funny. 18 years ago, your father hid a body in the same way. What? My father? The one who abandoned me? The same thing? I would have guessed that both father and son would use the same method. Stop it! Don't lump me in with that guy. My father. I'm nothing like him. There's not a single connection between us. Objection. You may think so, but even now, your bond with Mr. Gustavia still remains. Didn't you say once before, I don't like sweets? That may have came from the shock of losing your father, don't you think? You guys have no idea what you're saying. Even if you deny your father, aren't your thoughts and actions the same? Particularly, your belief of sacrificing others to protect yourself. And finally, your crimes were brought to light just as his were. He really doesn't look like his dad, but whatever. Just kidding. Oh, he's so funny. I can't believe he just did a fake. How dare you get our hopes up that it was over? How dare you, sir? That's pretty funny, though. That's pretty funny. I don't know anything about that warehouse. I had nothing to do with the kidnapping, after all. In order to threaten Judge Courtney, it's clear that you partook in the kidnapping. How scary. Those who get involved with you will be charged with all sorts of crimes. In the end, there's no evidence for the instigation and for the kidnapping. None at all. Or what? Are you gonna forge some evidence? Just like Blaze and the rest? Yeah, I'll do nothing of the sort. I can't let him provoke me. You always say, I'll pursue the truth, no matter what. Right? Huh! Don't you mean only the truth that's most convenient to you? After all, that's how the police pull the wool over the eyes of those without power. Damn, this guy's so stubborn. It's really hard to take him down.
And that's why my revenge was necessary. None of you can catch me. Not Patricia, not Blaze, and not even you.
Mr. Edgeworth, at this rate, isn't there something, anything we can do?
Even though all my logic points to this man, I just need evidence. Even a single piece of evidence would suffice. Well, it's been a fun show, but it looks like it's time for the curtains to close. Just like it's time for this episode's curtains to close.
I know, guys, it feels like we were about to stop him. It feels like we're at the end, and we really are super, super close, I promise. But we're already over 30 minutes, and if I was to continue, this would become over an hour. And my throat is already eh. And that's because I think I have a hair or something that went down, and I don't know. Anyway, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying, and stay tuned for the final episode at last of this game next time. So until then, hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.